We are live. Welcome to once again yet another absolutely cannot miss super show. And what an absolute honor to have my great friend and blues musician, actor, writer, great human being, and the founder of the Blues Town Rising 2.0, Mr. Eddie Crowe. Eddie, welcome to the show and thank you so much for this huge favor of appearing on the show. And I cannot thank you enough. The work that you're doing, your entire life is fantastic. And I can't wait to share it with our viewers and our listeners. Eddie, welcome. Tell us about how you were discovered by CBS Radio back in 2001.
Okay, I was working at Bethlehem Steel in about 7 years, but when I started working there, I made up my mind I was going to write a hit song. And it took me 20 some years to come up with the idea for what to write. Once I wrote it, it took me 10 minutes.
10 minutes to write a
The
song.
very first song I ever wrote, and I called the radio station,
Okay.
the #1 morning show in Baltimore. And
Was
sang
that
it to him.
was that the
And
sales?
got another DJ at the station to play guitar along with me and put it on the air on CBS. They sent me the recording of it. I didn't know it was going to happen, so I didn't record it. That was sent to me by Steve Rouse, the DJ that discovered me.
Okay.
That's how it went down. Once I had the song, I wrote it at work, actually on lunch break. And as soon as I finished writing it, I could sing it. And I sang it to some guys I worked with. They liked it. Sang it to some more people. They liked it. I figured, hey, why not? I think that the DJ might like it. So I called him, and the rest is history. But that recording is really what this is all about. And Baltimore's going to thrive as a music city because of it.
Well, now the original, the song you're talking about, what was the content? Like, tell us what came out of your heart and into that song and onto the paper.
Well, I intended to write a hit song. I didn't intend to just write a song. That's why it took me so long. And it's just, I wrote about the best thing about Baltimore, which is the Chesapeake Bay.
Okay.
Living there. I mean, you got Chesapeake Bay in your backyard.
The Inner Harbor.
They got a brand new owner of Harbor Place in Baltimore, and he's a developer. And he's going to dump hundreds of millions of dollars more into this harbor in Baltimore. His name is David Bramble.
Now is that
MCB Real Estate?
now is that current or has he begun that or are we talking past? I haven't been down at Baltimore in about 10 years, so I'm not up on it.
I ran into him when he first came on the scene. I messaged him about what I'm trying to do. And that was about almost 3 years ago. But he has a model of what he's going to build that you can see. It's on his MCB, like Mary Charles Bob Real Estate, or search David Bramble. And he knows all about what I'm trying to do. And the model he's got, luckily for me, I met him I didn't meet him, but I, connected with him a couple of years ago. But anyway, he's really going to do big things for Baltimore. And you can see it in the model he made. It's included into it a amphitheater.
Okay.
2,000 seat amphitheater.
So he's.
I can't help it. He wants to focus the world on Harbor Place and the harbor in the Chesapeake Bay. Finally, somebody stepped up to money to make it happen. You know,
Yeah.
make it all about the bay worldwide. Get worldwide tourism going. I gave him my story and everything before he ever built a model or anything like that. And I like what he built. Very modern. Looks like a music city would have that. And I wish him all the luck in the world.
Well, Eddie, when you mention your story, you showed your story with him. Share it. Are you okay to share it with us now? At least part of it.
Yeah. It's, let's see. Where you want me to start? So I got radio recording.
Yeah.
Got on the internet, found out what a computer was and all that. I wasn't savvy to any of that before. And I learned how to type. I type with a couple fingers, but I get the job done. Anyway,
they call.
I hit the internet.
Yeah.
And I got the page. I'm on the top of the page for the search of Baltimore Blues Star.
Okay.
And I'm also at the top of the search for Eddie Crowe.
Okay.
That took some doing. I mean, there was a media guy named Eddie Crowe, baseball, and he had that spot locked down for years, and I knocked him out of it.
Okay.
And yeah, so let's see. Where did I start? This is 23 years of information.
Yeah.
So it's I came up with the idea since I made history in the blues. Watching Baltimore be a blues music city and draw global tourism in the blues, which is a multi-billion-dollar endeavor.
Well, actually, while you're touching on that, let's talk a little bit about the Bluestown Rising 2.0. Because when you're talking about tourism and bringing money into a city, community, the Bluestown Rising 2.0, from everything I'm learning about it and wanting to be a part of with you, is going to really open doors up and give a lot to the community, as well as bring in millions of dollars in tourism each year. And tell us a little bit about that. I know there's some comparison to Beale Street in Memphis, and for the folks that are not familiar with Beale Street, that is the blues HQ of Tennessee, I believe. Am I correct, Eddie?
They're known worldwide.
Okay.
For what they do for the blues. The Blues Foundation's there.
Okay.
175 blues related countries out of 195 that exist on the planet.
Okay.
Societies and 175 of those. And they're all connected to the Blues Foundation.
So having a blues society as part of the culture in a city would definitely bring in untold numbers of tourists, along with tourist dollars, revenue into the city, which helps raise the city, bring it to a higher level. And I think you were talking about being involved in the cultural center, or maybe that was my idea as well. but being involved in the cultural center down in Baltimore, and making sure that there's live entertainment and music and arts and things available to the public, to the kids, to the youth, to the folks who may not have $20 for a ticket to go see something, to be able to enjoy themselves. Does that sound kind of like in line with what you and I have been talking about?
Yeah, that's it. Nailed that.
Yeah. And this, for the benefit of our listening and viewing audience, which right now I have to mention, we had a glitch getting Eddie on video, so we're doing this. This is strictly audio. But for the folks who will be catching us on YouTube and X and Instagram and Facebook, um, Eddie has been working on this idea for quite some time, and bringing, as he mentioned, bringing all of your experience and resources to the table to try and get this done. And we've been fortunate enough, at least I have been fortunate enough to recently meet some folks who have been in Eddie's life for a long time. Um, Dr. Lady J, who is a very well known broadcaster in the city of Baltimore and a very strong and vocal activist for the folks who need a voice, you know. And she put me in touch with Mr. Johnson, who is the director of the Cultural Center in Baltimore. And Eddie, I don't know if I got to tell you this yet, but coming up on Tuesday, I have a phone conference with Mr. Johnson and some of his team to talk about getting down there and working and being present in the Cultural Center, which is an idea that you initiated and gave to me. Is, well, you know, when we're talking about having a presence in Baltimore, uh, you said, well, you know, the Cultural Center might be the perfect spot. And it seems like it is. It's coming into fruition. So we're headed there.
Cool.
Yeah.
They're all set up for all that.
Well, like I say, I haven't been to Baltimore in at least 10 years. For a stretch, I was working down there 8 days a week, rehabbing properties and trying to, you know, fight the blight. And after 3 years, I kind of looked around and it was like, wow, I didn't make a dent in this. You know, the need is that great. So we're going to come from a different angle and we're going to give it another 20 years. Yeah.
So, I can't thank you enough for what you've already done to the business.
Well, you know what? We both agreed, like very early on when we first started talking, that this is totally a God thing. You know, this is
Right.
like inspired. You know, you didn't decide one day you're going to reach out and find me, and I didn't do the same for you, and yet God brought us together with a common purpose, and what a great purpose it is. No,
Yeah.
no disputing that.
On a mission from God.
Yeah, yeah,
The Baltimore Blues Brothers, that's Gemini Burke and me.
yeah.
And our team. Everybody on the team is Blues Brothers of
Let's
the 21st century.
let's talk a little bit about Gemini Burke and the Sons of Legends. And I believe Gemini is the son of Solomon Burke.
Yes. He's the king of soul music. And his music is in the Blues Brothers movie. He's a legend. No doubt about that. He was the king.
One of the ultimate greats. Now you had a lot of interaction and work with Gemini, I believe, along with the Sons of the Legends. Tell us a little bit about that.
I physically met him, but I'm in touch, and he knows the whole story out of Baltimore. He's 100% behind it. And that's American music royalty right there.
Yeah.
Gemini Burke.
Yeah.
Very talented. I mean, he's definitely a star.
Yeah.
I definitely hook you a star.
I'll tell you what, I think we have the best of both worlds where we're like not currently stars, but we have all the friends who are, so we can help behind the scenes and really get stuff done. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just what people just amaze me. People I worked in the steel mill with,
Yeah.
that was like a really big dysfunctional family.
Okay.
United Steelworkers of America. I was a member of that. Wow. Before Bethlehem Steel
That's an American tragedy there. The first thing I thought about was not only how many folks all of a sudden became unemployed and have families that are counting on them, but what happened to all that pension money that they were counting on? And
yeah, that reduced pension for 11 years. I had to wait 11 years to draw anything.
wow.
Social Security.
Yeah.
I was Social Security. I was on disability for many years, coming out of the steel mill. And I just lost my train of thought. I'm getting old.
Well, I was gonna ask you, which you somewhat talking about the disability coming out of the steel mill, but I don't think there are many folks really aware of conditions like the health conditions that resulted from working in the steel mill. Can you can you shed a little bit of light on that?
It's my daughter just walked by. She's getting ready to leave. What was that question?
We were talking about the the fact that most folks, the only thing they know about the Bethlehem Steel was one, they produced steel globally, and two, they went under and people lost their jobs that their families were dependent on, and the pensions became non-existent, or as in your case, took 11 years to get partial. But you had mentioned um, getting involved with disability coming out of the steel mills. And my question is, can we talk about some of the resulting illnesses, diseases, reasons to go on disability from working at the steel mill?
Everybody filed a claim. The younger guys had to wait to file a claim through asbestos.
Okay.
COPD. Documents with that years ago. But I'm not interested in finding out anything else if it's worse. I'm living.
Right.
I'm satisfied.
You don't need any more stress at this point.
It really is disabled me. I'm not in a wheelchair or nothing, but the pills I have to take. As for bipolar too, I don't mind telling people the disorder, and I take medicine for it.
Well,
A lot of people don't want to talk about it, but bipolar people in history, they're really creative people.
okay.
Yeah, there's stars that are bipolar. The ones that, tell me what to do, but yeah.
Well, I can vouch for that. I mean,
I probably got that when I got run over by a car. I probably got mental stress overload from when that happened to me.
tell us about that.
I was trying to help a friend get his car out of the mud. It's been raining for like 10 days in a row. Ran off the road. Straight. And I was up there to try and help him. And we had 3 pickup trucks. We used one that didn't make it move at all. The second truck just barely made it move. And we hooked a third truck up to it, a 1-ton 4-wheel drive. Hooked him up, all 3 trucks pulling on it. And I was standing on the side of the car, facing the rear of the car, and I didn't know, but the wheels were turned in my direction. The front wheels.
Okay.
That car came out, pulled that tree. It was stopped from hitting the house by a tree. A big
wow.
bush, 20, 30 foot high. That stopped it. But when that truck moved, when the car finally moved, it got my foot. I tried to dive away from it, and I went straight to the muddy ground. It ran over me and left a tread mark between my shoulder blades.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah, that's yeah.
From that, I went to the hospital, got X-rayed, no broken bones. But the only thing I was I did soft tissue damage in my foot and my ankle and everything from diving away from getting run.
Yeah.
But that didn't work.
Let's,
You know, if I had to make the movie again, turn it into a movie, we'll have to get Russell Crowe. One time,
no way, yeah.
He's a gladiator. He should do it in one take like that.
Yeah, yeah. Somebody yelled dive and you thought they said jive and didn't pay it any attention, right?
Russell Crowe. I signed autographs on the Queen Mary's house.
Okay.
I couldn't even believe that. My agent set me up.
Uh-huh.
It's like Robin Williams. Spontaneous like that.
Uh-huh.
Crazy.
What do you think about this whole bridge situation where the Key Bridge collapsed? I just saw something where a third body has been recovered from that site. And frankly, I find it hard as hell to even consider that could have been accidental. That captain just could not tell me he's really that stupid after all those years and making that same trip. It's like, dude, you were either drunk, stoned, or you are really absolutely more stupid than anybody on America right now. I don't know, man. This whole I'm done with being politically correct or even like politically considerate. And I'm looking at all the tragic things that has happened in this country under the Biden administration.
Right.
It's a scary situation. I mean,
Trump back in there for sure.
Yeah, with the open borders, there's no clue how many terrorists have come over here already.
Right.
You know, it's like it's going to be real easy from within. Well, I shouldn't say that because as long as we hang on to our weapons and maintain, militias and things like that in this country, they're going to be thinking twice because they don't have a clue how many guns are out here and who all has them. But I would have to say that's definitely one of the plans. I'm sure. Let's load up the interior and then try and bust it through.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Well, I tried to get my story onto WCTV.
Okay.
That's sister station,
What was that?
CBS.
Channel 13, I believe, right?
Yeah, Channel 13.
Okay.
And they need to be world famous for stepping on blues history.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, they totally ignored everything I'm doing in Baltimore. And they still ignore it. To acknowledge me would mean that they made a mistake.
Okay.
The media is not going to admit a mistake.
Right.
I actually had grounds to sue them to start with because of that recording.
Okay.
It was actually made illegally by the recording.
Never had your consent?
And federal and state didn't have my consent when I didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, I heard you say that very early in the show. Yeah, you weren't aware it was going to happen.
Yeah, what you're hearing is actually the recording from the next morning, what he did with it.
Okay.
And, so sang on a Monday. And this thing with it, which was illegal, and then he broadcast it. And I was getting ready for work the next morning after it got on there, and I turned the radio on, and my song "Standing Alone" playing on CBS. I went mute, brother. I actually went mute for an hour and a half. I couldn't speak. That's one of the reasons why I really do that. I mean, it shocked me so bad because I'm not naive. I know who CBS is. They're the top dog.
Right.
What I learned coming up.
Right.
Worldwide. And that's who discovered me. I mean, he played it every day on his show that week during the morning rush hour.
And I had no permission to do so.
Permission now. I mean, I didn't really. I was getting the exposure, so I didn't really care. But I didn't know it. And, he just didn't turn out to be a finisher.
Okay. It sounds like he was in it for his own gain.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, if you're a DJ anywhere on this planet, the last thing you should have to find is a star.
Right.
They're just stars. And that's how I look at it. But everything I write these days for the last 20-some years, I consider a movie script. And it's just, I got another page called Post Raven, where I'm the original Baltimore Raven, Eddie Crowe.
Okay.
Born 1954. Crowe by any other name is a Raven.
Yeah. Yeah. Question, did you ever see any revenues from that pirating act?
I didn't see anything from it. I lost my thought again.
Well, evidently he used it for his gain. I wonder if he negotiated any releases of that, supposedly on your behalf, but cash in his pocket.
Nah, I don't think so. he's just, he actually went into farming.
Well, maybe,
6-acre farm at his house.
maybe.
And, I don't think I told you this, but he
No, you never mentioned that.
got fired from CBS.
Okay.
His show was on for 17 years, #1 morning show in Maryland. One day, that's it, pulled the plug on him, shut the whole show down.
Did,
And he never gave a reason. And they just came in and did this. And he went on to Steve Rouse. Look what they did for.
okay. Never mind what I did to everybody else, but look what they've done to me.
Right. So,
I'm such a victim, but never mind the 1,000 victims that I've created.
right. He's got, he broke federal and state laws and what he did. And that's the crime and cover up of the century in Baltimore. Nobody knows this ever happened. But they came and fired him. And his station was taken over by a station with no DJs.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of the name of it. It'll come to me. But yeah, a station with no DJs. And, he just, the last song that the station played was Kiss 'Em Goodbye.
Oh, no way.
Kiss 'Em Goodbye.
Yeah.
And then the first song that the new station played was Hungry Like a Wolf.
Okay.
That was their little, put it.
Yeah.
But
Well, the stations are definitely different, way different than in previous years. There's, that it would be something to compare it to like WKRP in Cincinnati, a station like that used to be like that, and now anymore it's all digital. It's all computerized. There's, you may not even find a DJ during the day or night. It's all like computerized, digital. They just throw spots in, throw voices in, and throw music on.
right.
I think I'm one of the dinosaurs that's still around. I can.
I'm 69.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I definitely can withstand any lawsuit challenging me being live on Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. We are SML Saturday morning live at 11 with Sal Santori. I think one of the things we want to talk about, Eddie, is letting folks know that we're coming to Baltimore. We have a plan and we need help. The reality is, hey, man, we're doing this, but, it takes a village to raise a child, and
Right.
it takes a village to do what we're doing, even way more than a village. So if you're listening to the broadcast or if you're going to take it off of YouTube, get in touch with us. Let us know that you're interested in making a huge change in Baltimore and giving a lot of folks some new opportunities that don't exist and really want to get your hands dirty and get in there with us. I have every intention and every indicator that says we will be having a physical presence at the Cultural Center in downtown Baltimore. Now you can reach us, you can reach the studio which again has a live DJ and a live talk show host, and that is me, yours truly, Sal Santori. And I can be reached. I'll give you a phone number. It's 717 You can reach me by email at sal, at wmrcstudios.com. Again, that's sal at wmrcstudios.com. And everything that comes in regarding this great new project in Baltimore will be shared with Eddie. Um, we're in this together, and I'm definitely not the kind of guy who says, "Hey, let me get some airplay here on something you don't know about." That still blows my mind. It's like, what did he think he would do it on the day you might not be listening? Wow. But we definitely need help. We need folks to come and be part of. We need doers. We need financing. We need everything. We need community involvement. So,
Yeah, we blues to get their act together.
okay.
Instead of ignoring Baltimore blues history,
Mm,
because they've totally ignored everything I'm doing. As the president, he hates me. He hates me over an incident that happened at one of their shows.
okay.
And I used to work with the sound man and give him pointers on what is wrong with what he's doing.
Okay.
And you don't know what you're doing. No, I went to school for sound. And,
Okay.
very easily got friends with this guy. I knew what I was talking about. That I could fix feedback and all that. I knew how to adjust everything. And, there were 6 guys that approached that sound on the night in question, complaining. They weren't sound man, but they were complaining about the sound. And I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
I walked over to him and I said whatever I had to say about it. And he just went off on me.
Oh, wow.
Thought it was another beat. Sunglasses all the time. And when he had seen me, and I didn't have glasses on that night, he didn't recognize me. So, yeah, he went off on me, and I went off on him. And it wasn't a fist fight or nothing, but just words. But
Yeah.
and he wasn't even there. But he's holding that against me. It wasn't even my fault. I was trying to help. So, there's no chance of that. But I'd like to make them also famous for keeping the blues down. Their motto is to keep the blues alive.
I think a sit down sounds kind of in order there. If you want to,
Yeah,
after the show, if you want to send me
president.
if you want to send me
Nobody
the,
wants to job. Nobody wants to job. So he takes it. He doesn't care a thing about Baltimore blues.
okay,
All he cares about is bringing outside acts into Baltimore blues.
sell tickets, sell tickets, sell tickets.
Yeah.
All right.
I was a member of the Blues Society.
Okay.
He kept my band from going to Memphis by not allowing us into the challenge.
Oh, wow.
The Blues Challenge.
Yeah.
Well, I'd already been to Memphis. My first experience in Memphis, I stepped on the field street. It looked like nothing to me.
Uh-huh.
Some guys sitting there getting ready to play, setting up. There's about 5 or 6 of them. to talk to him, see if I could do some songs for him. Sing. And he's like, sure, what's your name? I told him. And he got me up there. And they didn't have a PA system. They were singing through a bass amp.
Okay.
It wasn't happening.
Right, right.
Well, I project when I sing. I definitely can project my voice when I sing. That's why I do it. I put out there on Beale Street, 30 feet from the band. King's Courtyard, big catty corner from me.
Okay.
I stood out there with no microphone and sang the whole set.
Okay.
With no mic. And everybody always drew a crowd. That was a cool experience. And I also got to meet the Gypsy woman in Memphis.
Okay. Tell us.
I sang songs and I looked up, same place, King's Courtyard. I look up, this woman's staring at me. When my eyes hit hers, we didn't blink. She started walking towards me from about 30 feet away. And she got right in front of me. She raised her hand out and pointed at me and said, success is in your future. Right? I didn't even know who she was. But the guys I just got done playing with her were backing up. They heard it. And they asked me, you know who that is? Never seen her before. He said, that's the Gypsy woman. She lives right here on Beale Street, has a shop right there on the right. And she's been out here, sees every act that comes through Memphis.
Okay.
Right, day and night, she's out here. And she really likes you. But yeah, I actually met a Gypsy woman.
That's amazing. And she told you will be a success, and you have been.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, we gotta see if we can. We gotta take a trip to Beale Street and see if we can find her and take her to lunch. Yeah. I've been known to croon some blues myself down in Texas. I have an uncle, Al Manarino, who's down in San Antonio in the restaurant business, and for his birthday one year, I took him out. We were doing a blues tour. We hit this one place, and it was just so, I don't know how to say, the ambiance, the atmosphere, the energy was just so like there, and we were really, having a nice time. And I just decided, I took the mic and I just decided to run off a couple of blues tunes that they flowed, man. It was awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's unlike
Yeah. 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 It just flows. Yeah. So, Eddie, what do you think? Are we going to get back together in a couple of weeks and let folks know what's going on down at the Cultural Center and what we're doing to get this um, this action happening?
Yeah, it's all about getting the word out there.
Yeah. Well, if you want, if you
thank you enough for what you're doing.
Well, like we always come back to, it's a God thing. It's this whole show and everything about it's a true God thing. It's not something I decided I'm going to give this a try and see how it works.
Right.
But what I would like to do is get the contact information for the folks that you were talking about in the Blues Society, and schedule a meeting, get down there and visit with them and say, let's forget about yesterday, but what are we going to do tomorrow?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's way black every kind of way from.
They're scared of you. They're scared of you, brother. That's fear. That tells me they're scared. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I am certainly glad that we got to spend this time here on the show. Um, you have done some like miraculous things with your life. And folks, I'm glad to be able to let folks know, to be part of the things that you're talking about and some of the things that you're doing and helping to let folks know what's going on, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
we don't.
really needs it now. It's a bridge, Phil.
Yeah, yeah. I don't have any government funding of any kind. I don't do uh, PSAs.
Right.
It's like, so if I want to be politically incorrect and say what's true and what's going on in the streets, I don't have anybody to threaten me and tell me they might withhold some kind of funding because I'm not getting it from them now. They can keep it.
Right.
Yeah. But thank you once again, Addie, for joining another truly, truly cannot miss super show. So, folks, join us again next week when we have Dr. Lady J of What Up Baltimore graces us with her presence and blesses us with what's going on in her life and shares her broadcasting journalism and her much admired advocacy. Yeah, advocacy for those coming from behind the walls. And please remember, as always, find someone to help. We'll see you next week. You can catch the recorded version on YouTube at youtube.com/at Sal Santori 2880.
Yeah, sounds like